So in this video, I'm going through P1, Chapter 6, Section 6.3 and 6.4, area of triangles, sectors, segments, and solving triangular problems. So it's going to be a longer video. A recap of GCSE that you can find the area of the triangle using the formula half times A times B times sine C. The only way you can use, or the only condition for using this formula, is that the angle C is trapped between the two sides that you are using. So if you've got C, you have to have A and B. If you have C, for example, and A, and you need to use those two, then you must have the angle B. So the angle that you use has to be the one trapped between the two sides. So this question is a very straightforward question. Find the area of the triangle. Well, the area of the triangle, and you can just draw a triangle, is half times A times B times sine, not cos, 62. And you'd get the triangle, you'd get the calculator, rather, a half times 3.2 times 6.6 times sine 62, close brackets. And they wanted the three significant figures. So if I write it out, 9.3239, 9.3239, and it keeps going. Significant figures, that's the first one because it's bigger than 0, 2, 3. 3 doesn't round up. 9.32 centimeters squared. Find the area of this triangle. Well, firstly, we don't have an angle. So the first thing we need to do is to find the angle. I'm going to find this one. You can find any angle. So, to find the angle, you would need to use the cosine rule. That's the side you're going to subtract because it's opposite the side, the angle you want to find. So angle A is cos minus 1, and it's going to be 8.7 squared plus 6.8 squared minus 7.2 squared over 2 times 8.7 times 6.8. I like to put it in brackets, close brackets. So my calculator, shift cos, fraction, 8.7 squared plus 6.8 squared minus 7.2 squared, and that is 2 times 8.7 times 6.8. Close brackets, use my arrows, close big brackets. Equals. So that gives me an angle. I'm not going to round it at this point because it's not the final answer. So just get used to not rounding before the final answer and leave the answer on your calculator as well. I'm going to write it in full here. So A is 53.6741 and 5864. But I'm not going to round. Don't round till final answer. Okay, so the area I need to use these two because these are the two sides that the angle I found is trapped between. So the area of the triangle is half times 8.7 times 6.8 times sine angle. And on your calculator, because it's still there, you just use the answer button. I'm going to show you what you do. So half times, oh, I took it off, but it doesn't matter, it's still saved there. 8.7 times 6.8 times sine answer. So it is 23 0.8. I'm going to just show you that it's the same thing. So if I put this again, 8.7 squared plus 6.8 squared minus 7.2 squared over 2 times 8.7 times 6.8. Just do it again. Okay, so I would start by typing 0.5 times 8.7 times 6.8 times sine answer equals 23.8. So yeah, 23.8 centimeters squared to 1 decimal place, or 3 significant figures. This is working in reverse and also using algebra. So it tells you the area of the triangle is 15 root 3. And find x. And it's given you your angle, and it's given you the two sides that it's trapped between. So the area, I always start by writing the formula in front of me. A half times half AB sine C. So area is 15 root 3 equals a half times x plus 4. I would put the x first. And then times sine 60. And the first thing I would do is I would check what sine 60 is. So sine 60 is root 3 over 2. Okay. So 15 root 3 equals, and I'm going to multiply the brackets, equals a half times x squared plus 4x times, and we've said root 3 over 2. And I'm going to do the multiplication, so I'm going to multiply this by that. Remember, in a multiplication, the order doesn't matter, so 2 times 3 times 4 is the same as 4 times 2 times 3, or any other combination. So, times a half, times 0.5. So that's root 3 over 4. So I've got 15 root 3 equals root 3 over 4 times x squared plus 4x. What I would do at this stage is I would divide both sides by root 3 over 4. Because I want to get rid of that multiplication. So here I'm going to put 15 root 3 divided by the answer, which is root 3 over 4. And I get a nice, neat number. So that was 60. Equals x squared plus 4x. Well, you can see what's that going to be. It's going to be a quadratic that I can solve. So 0 equals x squared plus 4x minus 60. And 60 is 10 times 6. So x and x, 10 and 6. And I want a plus 4x plus 10 minus 6. So x is either negative 10, which it can't be, or a positive 6. This side cannot be a negative. So I'm going to reject that, and I'm going to say, therefore, x is 6. Don't leave the two answers. You must choose. So you must choose an answer. Now we're going to look at the area of segments. A sector is a fraction of a circle that is surrounded by an arc and then two radii, a radius and a radius. A segment is surrounded by an arc and a chord. It's that green part, that's a segment. Find the area of the segment shaded in the diagram. Give your answer to 3 significant figures. Well, I hope you note that the area of the segment is really the area of the full sector, and I take away the area of the triangle. So area of segment is area of sector minus area of triangle. And the area of the sector is theta over 360. Sector is a fraction, so it's the angle over 360 that gives me the fraction times the area of a full circle, which is pi r squared. Take away the area of the triangle, which is half AB sine C. And AB here is the radius times the radius, so it's really going to be r squared as well. So area of sector is 100 over 360 times pi times 5 squared, that's the area of the sector, minus a half times 5 squared times sine 100. And I'm going to put that exactly how I see it on the calculator, or exactly how I've written it. 100 over 360 times pi times 5 squared. Take away 0.5 times 5 squared times sine 100, close brackets, to 3 significant figures, so 9.5065. 9.5065. That's the first significant figure, second, third, squiggly line. The 6 rounds the 0 up. So 9.51 centimeters squared, because I'm finding the area. Then we get to some problem solving using all the skills that we've learned in chapter 6. The diagram shows the location of 4 mobile phone masts in a field. BC is 75 meters, CD is 80 meters, angle BCD, they've given it to you already, but it's angle C, it's always the letter in the middle, is 55, and angle ADC is 140. In order that the masts do not interfere with each other, they must be at least 70 meters apart. Given that A is the minimum distance from D, find the distance from A to B. So I want the distance from A to B. So the first thing we need to read very thoroughly is this line. In order that the masts do not interfere with each other, they must be at least 70 meters apart, given that A is the minimum distance. Well, the minimum distance is 70 meters. They must be 70 meters. So that's the minimum distance. So they're basically telling you that A to D is 70 meters. Find the distance A to B. Well, if we leave the diagram as is, we can't do anything with it. You are allowed to add things that you need, for example, a line. If I do this, I am then able to find B to D because I have 2 sides and I have an angle. So I can use the cosine rule to find B to D. And then I work my way in. Sometimes I can't find things straight away. So I'm going to find B to D first. So cosine rule, square root 80 squared plus 75 squared minus 80 times 75 times cos 55, close brackets. Let's put a lot of space here. So enter. Okay. So we'll get this, and we're going to put square root 80 squared plus 75 squared minus 80 times 75 times cos 55, close brackets. I'm not going to round, so I'm going to leave this answer completely. So 92.6 and 4740 and 354. Now that I've got this, okay, and I want to find that angle really, but I can't find that angle yet. So I want to find that angle because it's AB that I want. So I can find this one. So I'm going to call that Y. So I've got 3 sides, and if I want 3 sides, I have 3 sides because that's now 92.6. So if that's the angle I want, that's the side I'm going to subtract from the cosine. So angle Y, and I've labeled it on the diagram, is cos minus 1. And it's going to be 92.64 on squared plus 80 squared minus 75 squared over 2 times 92.64, etc., times 80. The calculator can happily do that because the answer is there. So I'm going to go shift, cos, fraction. Answer squared plus 80 squared minus 75 squared, and I go down. I like to put in brackets 2 times answer times 80, close brackets, go to the top, close final brackets, equals. So again, I'm not gonna round anything, 50.851, so Y is 50.851, 84497, 84497 degrees. No rounding. Don't round. Don't round. So I'm using the answer squared and answer button here. So now I have this. I know that x plus y is 140, so that means that x is 140 minus the answer that I've got. So 140 minus answer. Again, I'm not going to round. 89.1481, 89.1481, 5503 degrees. Now that I have the angle x and 2 sides, again I can use the cosine rule to find AB. So AB is the square root of 70 squared plus 92.647 squared minus 2 times 70 times 92.647 times cos 89 and it's good that I've written it down because I don't want to round anything. So here the answer is 89, so the only on my calculator, unless you've stored it, the answer is here, so I can use the answer button for that, but I'm going to have to write this fully. So square root 70 squared plus 92.64740,354 squared minus 2 times 70 times 92.64740,354 times cos answer equal 115. And I can round this one, but I'm going to write it out in full just in case we need it later. 115.2853311 centimeters, and that could be 115 centimeters to 3 significant figures. So that is the answer to the distance between A to B. The next question says, find the angle BAD. So BAD is this one. I now have 3 sides. I can find the angle. And since I want that angle, the side opposite is the side I'm going to subtract using the cosine rule. So, angle BAD is cos minus 1. And it's going to be, let's have a look, 70 squared plus 115.285311 squared minus 92.64740,354 squared over 2 times 70 times 115.285311. Now, because my calculator still has 115, I can use the answer button here, answer squared, and I can use the answer button there. So, shift cos fraction 70 squared plus answer squared minus 92.64740,354 squared times 2 times 70 times answer, close brackets, use my arrows, close big brackets, equals. And again, I'm going to write the full answer, 53.47. So BAD is 53.47, 0148, 0148, 67 degrees. And to 3 significant figures, if I put my line here, 7 rounds the 4 up, 53.5 degrees. So that's angle BAD. And then it says, find the area enclosed by the 4 masts. That means I want to find the area of the whole quadrilateral. And the quadrilateral has 2 triangles, triangle 1 and triangle 2. And I've got the angle here enclosed between the 2 sides. So I'm going to find triangle 1, area 1. Area 1 is half times, what was it, 75 and 80 times 75 times 80 times sine 55, and area 2 is half times 70 times 92.64740354 times sine, and if I've used those two, it means that it's angle x that I want, and I've got angle x. So angle x is 89.148155503, and I'm going to add these two together, and I can put that in the calculator. So I can put that in brackets: a half times 75 times 80 times sine 55, close bracket, then add, open brackets, a half times 70 times 92.64740354 times sine 89.148155503, close brackets, in one go, equals. So the answer is 5,699.756881. That's it. And that is going to be meters squared. And they haven't asked for a particular level of accuracy. I could round this up, but this would also round to a 10, this would round this to a 10, and this would round, so it would be .021 meters squared. So that's the two significant figures, really. So you could round up, you could leave it, they haven't really asked for a level of accuracy. And this is solving problems using trigonometry.